guys, welcome to another discussion video, and today's gonna be, I wouldn't say a rant, but more like a kind of a get something off my chest about a certain thing. And it's more about reptiles. And I know I was like, what do you need to talk about reptiles for? This is Dino Duo Game. We're talking about dinosaurs, and what are you talking about reptiles for? Well, it's just something that's been on my mind, you know what I mean? And that is that reptiles are probably the most frustrating, have had a frustrating history, if you know what I mean. And what I mean about it, like when I looked at this new danger card, I'll put it up right here. First off, it's adorable. I'm just gonna say that right now. It's probably the only danger card I ever want, because look at this thing, is adorable. But other than that, like it led me to think of just how frustrating of a history reptiles have had, and where they are now. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's go all the way back at the beginning, and show you how frustrating this history of reptiles is. So we go back to the GX era, and they release Venoms. Venoms are the first, were the first, I think, reptile archetype, and it was pretty much like they were based off the villain from the show on this certain season. I think it was season 2 or 3. I don't know. I didn't watch GX that much, but yeah, it was most famous for Venonminaga, and Venonminaga was at the time was really cool because it it pretty much had its own win condition, which is awesome. And like of all things for Venoms they got a win condition, which was awesome. And it had a kind of a unique kind of playstyle with Venom counters and everything, with Venom Swamp. And it was a very, I guess, gimmicky deck. And it's kind of weird when you're best known for a monster that has its own win condition, but you can barely ever get into it. So, yeah. And Venoms pretty much never really did anything when they came out. It was a very slow deck compared to other decks that were around at the time. And it was just unplayable. For the most part, it was unplayable. And yeah, they had some decent support cards, but like in the trap variants. But other than that, it was very, very bad. And not really good start for reptiles in their first ever archetype. Now, granted, archetypes back then weren't really good anyway, but still, I mean, still. So after that, we wait a while, and finally we're in the Synchro era, and then like the Hidden Arsenal or Dual Terminal stuff comes out, and we see the Worms. Worms came up next, and they were a little bit of a step up. I will say that they were better than Venoms, and they were more of a flip effect kind of they were more of a flip effect kind of monsters, and they were kind of cool because they they're mostly known for Zex and Yagan. If you know them, like Yagan gets Zex, Zex Yagan, you know what I mean? That's the only synergy you got, pretty much. And you got Devil Nebula and Meteorite, which is probably the most insane support cards a deck has ever gotten. Like, good or bad, it is amazing. Like, it is, like, really good. It, like, makes that deck, it puts it together in a nice bow. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And like, it was decent. It was fine. It was a really good step up from reptiles. I mean, not reptiles, but a good step up from Venoms. God damn, I can't even get it out of my mouth. But yeah, and like it didn't do much though. Like competitively, like it could get you games. It could steal you some games, but other than that, it was really not that great. It wasn't gonna get you far. You know what I mean? It wasn't gonna get you anywhere in competitive wise, so which wasn't really like it would be fun when we were in locals. Obviously it would get you somewhere in local level, but it's just like in a regional or a YCS, it wasn't gonna get you anywhere for the most part, is what I'm trying to say. So, but it was a good step up, really good step up from where reptiles were. So then when you're going into the third archetype, you're thinking, okay, you gotta step up in the last one. Now it can only get better, right? Well, let's just say it got worse. Let's say like they went two steps down, and that is Reptilian. Reptilian is my favorite reptile archetype, believe it or not, but is one of the worst, the second worst. right above Venoms, because now don't get me wrong, I love the gimmick, the concept. The concept of this whole deck was doing stuff with 0 attack, making your opponent's monsters have 0 attack, and it was pretty cool. It was something that you don't really see very much. It was something you never saw before, really. And they had some really cool monsters, like Voski, like is a kaiju for yourself by getting rid of any 0 attack monsters on the field. You got Viper, which can take your opponent's monsters. You got Hydra, which is their synchro, which can destroy 0 attack monsters. You get to draw cards up to the number you destroyed, which is really cool. And then you got Naga, which can pretty much make your opponent's monster 0 and it can't be destroyed by battle. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things going on, but the problem was it was slow. So slow, okay? Like, it was so a snail's pace compared to everything else. And like, you couldn't search any of these guys at the time. King of the Pharaohs wouldn't come out until like Zexal era, when Xyz finally hit. So the deck at the time was like a very slow stun deck. So, and it wasn't really, and it was very cloggy at times. Like, you had like stuff like Medusa kind of clogging your stuff. I mean, even Voski could be cloggy as well, but just because of the fact of, well, like, you're waiting for your opponent to have 0 attack monsters. Yes, you can use yours, but the point is you want to get your opponent's 0 attack, you know what I mean? So, I mean, the cool thing about Voski, it was cited in Dragon Rulers for getting rid of Dracosac tokens, but I guess that's as far as Reptilians ever got. It was having their boss monster kind of like fooling around the side decks of people. So I guess there's that. That's the extent of this deck's popularity, is Voski getting rid of Dracosac tokens and Dragon Rulers. So after that disappointment, we go on to the final archetype Reptiles gotten, and that was Aliens. Aliens, like, they were a step up from Reptilian now, so they were better, and they were really good at a little bit, and they had like Alien Ammonite, which is one of the really cool tuners. You got Golgar, which actually like had some success at the time, and you got like just a good array of monsters. You know what I mean? It was actually really nice, and you got A counters and everything. The A counters did do some things a little bit, and it was actually really nice. There were some different ways you could build a deck. You can make a more counter variant or a Golgar variant. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, and it was now, and even got like, it even has gotten support here recently. Like in Invasion Vengeance a few years ago, you got A-Cell Recombination Device, which actually made the deck a little bit better. So I mean, it's, of all the archetypes we've gotten for Reptiles, Aliens is probably without a doubt the best one. The best one we've gotten. And that is not really saying much, though, at the same time, because the bar is so low for Reptiles. So, and yeah, I mean, Reptiles, though, I mean, I will say this, or Aliens, I will say this, they, like, at least they are more long-lived than the other ones, because at least Aliens got more support down the line. So, other than the other 3 who just kind of had a wave of support, and that was it. So yeah, and after that promising 4th archetype, there was nothing. Nothing after that. No more archetypes for Reptiles. And Reptiles then became more of a filler kind of thing. And what I mean by that is, look at Performapal Lizard Draw. Reptile, but it was in Performapal, which is a good find. You got Bravo, who is in Fur Hire. You got the new Danger Stick card. And just like a bunch of these scattered like Reptile cards that were just in weird archetypes that were just kind of like meh sometimes. Like the new Danger one is not even that good, I feel, for Danger. It's just kind of its own little thing. And then you got, I mean, Bravo, I mean, it's in Fur Hire, so it's fine, because they're all getting each other out anyway. And then you got, and then the Blizzard Draw was actually one of the better draw engines for Pendulums at the time. So that was fine. But like, Reptiles became more of a stuff for archetypes that are in a filler stage. You know what I mean? Just filler cards. Like, just put a Reptile in there and it'll be fine. Make it a Reptile type. I don't know. And it's sad because I want a good Reptile archetype. You know what I mean? Like a competitive one. Like a competitive, like a tier 1.5. I think Reptiles would be cool to be a cool tier 1.5 deck, or like a regional level deck or archetype. if they got the support, but there's probably one card that is probably going to stop us from getting that, and that is Snake Rain. Snake Rain is a foolish burial on crack. And if they made a good reptile archetype, they would have to either A, use this card, have this card be used some way, or a card that doesn't really need this. Doesn't need this. But then again, sending 4 stuff to the graveyard for free is fine, like nowadays. So it's kind of like if we did get one, this thing would shoot up in price. So, and yeah, I mean, it sucks because I want like I said, I want a good reptile archetype, and I think it would benefit the game a little bit, because hell, I mean, look at dinosaurs, for example. Look where they were at before the structure deck. Before that, we had Lost World, and not Lost World, Jurassic World, and we had Destroyersaurus, and we had Ultimate Tyranno and Black Tyranno, Superconductor Tyranno, and everything. Just a bunch of crap for us, and that wasn't really any good. And then we got the support we got in the structure deck, and we kind of just went off from there. Never looked back. And yeah, I mean, look at ABC. Their unions. Unions didn't even look any good, and they turned into tier 1 deck. Got a tier 1 archetype. And Pyro is again another one, but they got Volcanics, and Volcanics actually did something. You know what I mean? And that's the only archetype I think Pyro even has. That or Flameville. So yeah, I mean, and what do reptiles got? They can only cling on to aliens, and aliens were kind of that meh, okay deck, and that's why I feel like reptiles are kind of the most frustrating type in the game, because they have so much potential. And yet they don't have a clear focused archetype that is focused, that it makes them competitive. And that's why I feel like they're so frustrating sometimes. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on reptiles and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't really make these kind of me ranting, I guess you could say, kind of videos, but I feel like I don't know, I just want to talk about it. You know what I mean? It's just a subject I want to talk about, just because it was on my mind and I just wanted to share it with everyone. So, but yeah, what do you guys think about the whole situation, the whole thing? Do you guys think reptiles, do you think it would be cool to have reptiles have a cool, like, playable archetype, like a more competitive archetype? Or do you guys think that reptiles, do you think they should never get that just because of Snake Rain over here? But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, comment, definitely subscribe. I shall see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.